Hey everyone, welcome back to Max Time. It's been a while since I've made a video on this channel. Today I wanted to revisit this watch which I made a video on around 6 months ago. And this video is exactly that. It's a 6-month update and thoughts on this watch. Because usually you can buy a watch and then a few weeks later or a month later you're over the honeymoon phase and you're just thinking, not sure if I'm into it anymore. And I've had that in my collection many times already, and as I'm sure you have. Namely the Trasker that I got rid of recently, as well as the Timex Ironman. There was something about them that I just thought I've had a good time with them, but it's time to move on. Since then, I don't think my collection changed too much. There was also a San Martin in my collection, which I also got rid of just because I already had a green watch that I knew I wasn't getting rid of, and also it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. That's just a quick collection update, but more on this one. So recently a lot has happened in my life. One of the main things is that I got married, as you can see, and I went on a honeymoon. And one of the fun things I like to do whenever I have any trip is to plan what watches I'll bring. Now this was more of a mini moon. It was a 6-night break at a spa resort, and I thought I want to have a watch that I'll wear casually, but also for a nice dinner. And this was the watch for that. The other watch I was planning to bring, which I ended up forgetting, is the G-Shock. This one was the one I was going to use for the spa breaks, for the swimming pool, any kind of tennis or exercise that we were going to do there. But I forgot this watch and I was really upset because now I didn't want to damage the Sinn in any way whilst I was going in between spa rooms, maybe jumping in the pool, that kind of thing. So I thought, let's not baby this watch. It's built like a tank, and maybe I should treat it like one. And I did. I jumped into pools, I went in and out of spa rooms, I went running, I went walking, all kinds of stuff. And I will cue some B-roll over this footage so you can see some more in-action shots. The visibility from every angle, even in dark spa rooms, which allowed me to keep track of how long I stayed in each room. The lume was perfect. The only thing I kind of noticed that I wish was better on this watch was the second hand, which looks like the same material as the other hands, but it is not lumed, unfortunately. That would have been really helpful because then I could see exactly, okay, how many minutes have gone by, or at least track a minute as it's happening a bit easier. Which is why I kind of wanted this one, but in the end, this filled all of my needs. I was still able to track the time I spent in each room, not getting too hot. Also, it didn't stop me from doing any of the other things I was planning, like going for a nice dinner. And I never felt underdressed. I never felt overdressed. I felt like this was just perfect to dress up or dress down. And I'll share some pictures or videos of me wearing this in a robe, which was also pretty cool, I think. Yeah, I'm really happy with how wearable this watch was. And on this bracelet as well, which was the topic of my review 6 months ago, how much I like this bracelet, how smooth it is. And despite going into 80-degree temperature rooms and, really pushing it in terms of the humidity in the air and even taking it underwater, not being gentle whatsoever. And I think you can see some areas around the bezel, there are some dinks, and that's probably from brushing past certain stone walls or anything of the sort. But this is not something that puts me off wearing the watch. In fact, I actually really like it. And I thought the same thing when I got my ring. Very soon, after a week or two, started seeing slight blemishes on the brushing. And I thought, well, it's actually matching the watch even better now. And the watch is matching the ring even better. Because these things are supposed to be for everyday wear, for life. And so you can't expect these tools to be spotless. One thing I am glad about, though, which would bother me, is any marks on the crystal, which is still perfect. And that's impressive as well, because I'm not sure if there is anti-reflective coating on the outside. But if there is, it's held up super well. And you can see that the glass just disappears. Which is still, even though I've had it for more than 6 months, I still look at this dial, and when the glass disappears, I just think, oh, I can never get rid of this watch. Next video, I will probably talk about the G-Shock, which has really struggled to come off my wrist. In fact, despite most of my collection, these are the two watches that I've been rotating pretty much non-stop for the last few months. Because this one is just so easy to wear, you don't have to set it, it's always accurate. And this one is just so easy to wear with anything and still looks quite nice, and it never feels out of place. And it still has the magic of being an automatic watch and still looking, I would say, gorgeous. Well, thank you for tuning into this video. I just wanted to give a quick update on how much I still love this watch. And I think if you're on the fence about buying a watch like this or buying this particular watch, go for it. You won't regret it. This will be your one watch collection if there was such a thing. I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. It will help the channel grow and add to my motivation for making videos in this channel. Thank you so much.